morning to you. This is Ayogen Morning News Update. I am ABIODUN Janet, using this opportunity to wish you happy new months and great months ahead. Now to our top stories. Tinubu announces employment scheme to create 2.5 million jobs for Nigerians at 64. Tinubu appeals for patience amid economic hardship. Tinubu promises reduction in food prices. Tinubu convokes National Youth Confab. Ogun court restricts protesters to MKO Abiola Stadium, other venues over October 1st protest. IGP orders watertight security on Independence Anniversary. Another 5 deaths recorded in Ebonyi community over cholera outbreak. In entertainment news, federal government inaugurates panel to probe allegations against correctional service. Correctional center confirms suspension of officers. Money laundering charges against Bobrisky were dropped lawfully, AFCC. In international news, man charged in Trump assassination plot pleads not guilty. US, Israel agree on dismantling attack infrastructure on Lebanon border. More updates on the highlights after the short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're glad you tuned with us. Now to a national news highlight in full. Tinubu announces employment scheme to create 2.5 million jobs for Nigerians. President Bola Tinubu has announced an employment scheme known as Renewed Hope Labor Employment and Empowerment Program (LEEP) to create 2.5 million jobs for Nigerians directly and indirectly. Tinubu made this known during his 64th Independence Day speech on Tuesday. According to him, the initiative, which recommends in November 2024, aims to ensure the welfare and safety of workers across the country. In addition, later this month, we shall launch the Renewed Hope Labor Employment and Empowerment Program (LEEP). Tinubu confirms. The president had also announced the National 30-Day Youth Conference to address economic hardship. According to him, the confab will ensure that the voices of youth are heard and recommendations implemented by his administration. He said better days are ahead for Nigeria, urging Nigerians not to lose hope in the country. Tinubu appeals for patience amid economic hardship. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appealed to Nigerians to exercise more patience as the administration works to address the country's economic challenges. In the national broadcast commemorating Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary on Tuesday, Tinubu acknowledged the struggles many citizens face, including rising living costs and the search for meaningful employment. He, however, assured their voices are heard and sustainable solutions are being implemented to alleviate their suffering. The president recognized the frustration and hardship faced by many, but pleaded for understanding, stating that the reforms being implemented were showing positive signs, noting that the country is beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel. Tinubu reflected on Nigeria's journey since independence, highlighting the vision of the country's founding fathers, who chose democracy as a form of government 64 years ago. Tinubu promises reduction in food prices. President Bola Tinubu says his administration is focused on restoring peace to the troubled part of the north so that the farmers displaced by bandits and kidnapping can return to their farmland and increase food production. According to the president, his administration is winning the war on terror and banditry. We started to eliminate all the threats of Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and violent extremism. Tinubu boasted that his administration has eliminated terrorists and bandit commanders faster than any administration. He expressed optimism that the elimination of bandits and terrorist commanders would restore farmers to their farmlands and boost food production. Tinubu convokes National Youth Confab. President Bola Tinubu has announced a 30-day confab for Nigerian youth to discuss challenges confronting them. Tinubu made this announcement on Tuesday during his 64th Independence Day anniversary broadcast. Ogun Court restricts protesters to MKO Abiola Stadium or other venues over October 1st protests. High Court sitting in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, has restricted members of the Fearless in October protest groups in the state to the Moshood Abiola International Stadium in Abeokuta, Gateway International Stadium in Shagamu, Dipo Dino the Stadium in Ijebu-Ode and Ansar Udin Comprehensive High School in Ota. The court presided over by Tajuddin A. Okunshokan gave this order on Monday following an implication brought by the Attorney General of Ogun State in suite number AB/667/2024, which Afolabi Adeboye, Ifemosun Michael, and Lekon Shoneye for themselves and members of the Fearless in October protests. Best Man Okereafo on behalf of the Progressive Students Movement, Francis Adeyanju on behalf of the National Association of Nigerian Students, and Thomas Kaide on behalf of the National Association of Ogun Students as respondent. Other respondents listed in the suit are Yinka Folarin on behalf of the Committee for Defense of Human Rights, Nicholas Eko on behalf of the Socialist Democratic Movement, Koyejo Moreni KG, persons unknown, the Commissioner of Police Ogun State. By that order, the protesters are mandated not to converge in any order of the state except the designated venues. IGP orders watertight security on Independence Anniversary. Inspector General of Police Kayode Betokun has ordered watertight security across the country to create a safe and conducive environment for citizens to celebrate the country's 64th independence. In a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi on Monday, the IGP ordered the deployment of adequate human and tactical resources to enable a maximum level of security for the independence celebration on Wednesday. The police, in synergy with other security agencies, will fortify various designated event venues and major highways across the country to forestall any threat to lives and property and the celebration. IGP Betokun was said to have reiterated that the Nigerian police force remains committed to safeguarding the nation's security, ensuring peaceful coexistence, and upholding the rule of law. Another 5 deaths recorded in a Boeing community over cholera outbreak. About 5 more persons have been confirmed dead following a cholera outbreak in Igudagu village of Okuitumo community in Abakaliki local government area of Ebonyi State. The State Commissioner for Health, Moses Ekuma, made this known while giving an update on the outbreak on Monday, saying that 11 cases have also been confirmed in the community. This is as the total number of cases confirmed has risen to 80 and 18 deaths recorded in Abakaliki, Ebonyi, and Easy local government areas. Ekuma noted that the 11 persons affected in Okuitumo community are responding to treatment, adding that the rapid response team is already in the community for intervention and preventive control. In entertainment news, federal government inaugurates panel to probe allegations against correctional service over Bobrisky. More updates on this entertainment highlight after this short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let's dive back into our news headlines. Bob government inaugurates panel to probe allegations against correctional services. The federal government has inaugurated a committee to probe allegations of gross misconduct against the Nigerian Correctional Service (NCOS) by cross-dresser Idris Okuneye, better known as Bob Riskin. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, inaugurated the independent investigative panel on Monday. The permanent secretary of the ministry, Magdalene Ajani, and the chairperson of the panel. Other members include Omoteshe Eva, Mrs. Director Legal, Nasaru Usman, Director Joint Services. Earlier, the minister, who is chairman of the Civil Defense, Correctional Fire and Immigration Services Board, CDCFIB, suspended several officers overseeing the maximum and minimum custodial centers in Kirikiri, Lagos State, following Bobrisky's allegations. The phone recording of Bobrisky was released by blogger Martins Oche, known as Very Dark Man, where the crossdresser alleged that he served. The crossdresser was sentenced to 6 months in prison for naira abuse, but the leaked phone conversations suggested that they spent it in a VIP facility and not in prison. Correctional Center confirms suspension of officers. The Nigerian Correctional Service has confirmed the suspension of its senior officers linked to the alleged 50 million naira bribery allegations. The Civil Defense Correctional Fire and Immigration Services Board (CDCFIB) had earlier announced the suspension of 4 of its officers linked to various corruption cases. Following the announcement, a trending video of one of its senior officers claimed that the service had not served him a letter of suspension as earlier directed by the Civil Defense, Correctional Fire and Immigration Services Board (CDCFIB). However, a statement signed by Assistant Controller of Corrections and Public Relations Officer of the service, Umar Abubakar, said the service viewed the denial as an act of gross misconduct aimed at misleading the public on the issue at hand. Money laundering charges against Bobrisky were dropped lawfully. EFCC alleges a prosecutor with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), but Bilikisu Bala on Monday told a joint committee of the House of Representatives investigating allegations of corruption against some officers of the Commission and the Nigerian National Correctional Service the charges of money laundering dropped in the trial of Idris Okuneye, also known as Bobrisky, were lawful and in compliance with Administration of Criminal Justice Act. The EFCC disclosed this in a statement on Monday, narrating the address of the prosecutor to the House Committee. Bala, head of the prosecution team that handled the trial of Okuneye, pointed out the committee that the charges were dropped based on the disclosure of Special Control Unit against Money Laundering (SCUML), the Okunye's firm. Bob Express was not a designated non-financial institution, business and profession (DNFIBP) and could be prosecuted for flouting provisions of Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. And in international news, man charged in Trump assassination plot pleads not guilty. The man accused of attempting to assassinate Donald Trump at the Florida golf course has pleaded not guilty to the charges in the Federal High Court. Prosecutors say Ryan Rout, 58, was spotted with a rifle as he hid in the bushes near Trump's golf course in West Palm Beach earlier this month. A Secret Service officer protecting the former president allegedly spotted his rifle barrel poking through a fence and opened fire. Rout fled and was later arrested on Interstate 95, a main highway through the state. In addition to the attempted assassination of Trump, Rouse has been charged with firearms offenses and assaulting an officer. US Israel agree on dismantling attack infrastructure on Lebanon border. US Defense Secretary Leod Austin on Monday offered support to Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for dismantling attack infrastructure along the border with Lebanon after Israel launched targeted ground raids on Hezbollah. Austin also issued a warning to Iran of serious consequences should it directly attack Israel in response to their attacks on the Tehran-backed militant group. Gallant had warned earlier that Israel's military action in Lebanon was not over despite an Israeli strike killing Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah on Friday, dealing a devastating blow to the militant group. Austin reiterated the position shared by the White House that a diplomatic resolution is required to ensure civilian safety on both sides of the border. And that was Ayogen Morning News Update. But before we go, let's dive back to the headlines. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after the show. Tuned with us. Let's dive back into the news. In the highlight of the news, Tinubu announces employment scheme to create 2.5 million jobs for Nigerians. Tinubu appeals for patience amid economic hardship. Tinubu convokes National Youth Confab. Ogun Court restricts protesters to MKO Abiola Stadium other venues. IGP orders watertight security on Independence Anniversary. Another 5 deaths recorded in Ebonyi community over cholera outbreak. And in entertainment, federal government inaugurates panel to probe allegations against correctional services. Money laundering charges against Bobrisky were dropped lawfully. And international news, man charged in Trump assassination plot pleads not guilty. US Israel agree on dismantling attack infrastructure on Lebanon border. Thank you for staying tuned. I am ABIODUN Janet. Coming up is a Return Feli by Mr. Odedokun Isaiah. Till then, stay tuned and good day.